end of the war.
Yeah, and now we have the first attack for JX Tiger, and they're doing exactly what they did yesterday with this smash strategy, but they're bringing a small twist to this. They're using 4 earthquakes. Like normally you're running like a lot of rages, a lot of freezes, and obviously the poison, but he's not bringing a single poison to this party, and he is just bringing a ton of earthquakes to get the entire core open. I feel like he's going to jump into that multi-inflammatory compartment and then opening up the entire left base.
It would certainly be good, but look at the damage already going in onto the healers down to that side. The Grand Warden, relatively safe, but he's taken a little bit of damage here. Nothing too drastic as long as he can keep out of the way of red air bombs, but the baby dragon creates a funnel ready for the Grand Warden to get the multi-target inferno. Is his target, and he's around about on track here, Itsu, because you have said throughout the stream about 1 minute is when you want to have finished your Grand Warden walk, and it looks like that is literally bang on the marker.
That's right. Now he needs to use his pekka and his queen everything to lure back the Warden, otherwise the Warden is going to do his own thing on that right side. The first healers are about to die already because they took so much damage from this wizard tower that their defense had like an easy way to take them down. Now it's all about how can those troops get into that town hall, get into that back end. The Hawk Rush on the siege barracks, I feel like, were not worth it so much because the town explosion and the bomb tower are doing great work of taking them down. I feel like this attack is not looking as good as we saw yesterday because the healers are just not switching to the Pekka, which means if those tanks not getting healed up again, this is spelling bad news for those Pekka and for the attacker.
Oh, just as you are saying that, I just continue to hear that noise as the Pekka are slowly being destroyed. All of the tanks in front there going down leaves these super wizards vulnerable. Whilst they can do a little bit of damage, they're really not able to get through here, and it's not the start that was wanted from JX Tiger. Darkest Muzhan looks like they have an early advantage moving into this one as we continue to hear the troops going down. The Queen is next on the hit list, and the witches on the outside just won't be enough.
Yeah, there won't be enough against like defenses like those expos. They have a really high fire rate, which means those skeletons with the low HP they have no chance against this. The healers are trying their best to keep those witches alive, but there is no chance. And this is going to finish off with like an 82-83%, which obviously is not the percentage you would like to go for. So 83, maybe 84 in the end. Let's see if this archer is quick enough.
Ooh, nope, not quite quick enough. Interesting.
Want to be a bit closer with the next attack. Failing or not failing, let's see. We have a super witch attack once again on our hands. There are no lightnings, which most of the time is telling us this is going to be a warden walk for that town hall. And exactly that is going to be the case with the warden placed right on top of that base.
He's got plenty of time to do so. Interestingly, Darkest Muzhan putting both of their newcomers into the roster up first to then finish with their most experienced players. And picking up on your point, Itsu, I think JX Tiger and the performance they showed yesterday are certainly going to be fighting back here. I don't think they could put up as good of a performance and then lose out so drastically today. So I'm excited to see how they come back. But the Grand Warden walk continues. Like you said, it's normally about 1 minute, so you have plenty of time to get in towards the town hall. The rage spell used just to speed him up through that area because you always have to be worried about time with a super witch attack. But again, on this one, it is around about just the 1 minute mark when we are seeing the next set of troops being deployed.
That's right, and it's a really interesting looking base, to be honest. Like, having those army camps inside is a really uncommon thing because, like, army camps normally are not the best defense, I would argue, because, well, they're not really doing anything and they're having not too much hit points either. So, kind of interested to have like a reasoning why they have them inside the base, but maybe just against pathing, not really sure. Either way, we have those super witches now entering that base, and we have still one jump spell left. I guess he's going to wait and let his super witches beat through the next wall, and then he's going to jump on top of the sweeper, or maybe the clan cards, one of those two.
Yeah, I think that would be a wise choice, certainly, as you have a little bit more momentum initially to get through that wall. Finally, he does punch through, and the queen goes down. There is the jump bang on top of the air sweeper, as you said, because that provides access to both different compartments. Still has the royal champion to go. Maybe he'll deploy her at 6 to reinforce, or at 12. It is going to be 6 o'clock in order to help out with the hog riders. It looks relatively good here as the queen takes down the scatter shot.
Yeah, the queen takes down the scatter at the bottom side. We have that freeze. Maybe a headhunter could have been really helpful over there as well. But you can see on the top left side, there is the entire Tesla farm still left. Jax Tiger predicted the Warden Walk, but predicted it on a different side, because this Tesla farm is only to mess up a Warden Walk right there. And let's see if those witches can somehow speed things up, because time is ticking and we're already close to the 20-second mark.
Yeah, he's going to have to use that Royal Champion's ability pretty soon, if nothing else, just to allow his cleanup troops to be deployed. There goes the Royal Champion's ability. Oh, the Skelly Trap is popped, and that's going to distract things moving down into the last couple of seconds. That could very well be the difference maker. We do have some high HP storages, but I doubt they would have got through anyway. And 90...
So now it's really important to get that triple in. That is Vic coming in, and he is going in once again with the same smash strategy, but this time he is not bringing a ton of earthquakes. Instead, he is bringing 2 jump spells to get through the entire base.
Well, he did the exact same thing yesterday, and he did get the 3 stars. The base is a little bit more spread out, Itsu, so the jump spells probably provide him better pathing, and the earthquakes wouldn't necessarily give him his good value. Might have been able to reach everything there, but the 2 jump spells just actually is a little bit more secure, as he uses one of them for the outside of the base.
Yeah, using one really early on, making sure his troops can actually get into that base. On the right side, we have the siege barracks with the pekka pushing everything inside, making sure those troops that have actually like a clear path through the base. Now that freeze, making sure everything is staying alive. The rage, the water ability is going to be used in a second. And this as an entry is looking really, really solid with that jump, giving it the access to the entire base with his smash.
It looks incredible. Just seeing the chain effect of the super wizards blasting through that area is incredible, and I love that the jump spell is focused to the right hand side of the base, because he knows he has Royal Champion and Hog Riders jumping over the walls of the bottom side of the base, and it has worked out perfectly on that section. But the Queen now a little bit vulnerable over to the other side of the base. She can use the ability, take down the Royal Champion, but she's not going to get too much more. It's all about the force now from the south of the base, how easily it can get around. But I think it's looking relatively good here with the Royal Champion ability and a freeze.
This is looking really good. With over 1 minute left, I think we saw a lot of time fights already, but this one is looking really solid with those Hog Riders, with the Royal Champion ability, as you said, and another freeze. So if something is going wrong at this point, he can just make sure everything is frozen with the Royal Champ ability. It should be an easy way to finish things off. 1 sneaky goblin still not used, making sure that there is some value, but this with the Royal Champ ability should be no problem. And this means Vic, as yesterday, as you said, is going to get the 3-star in, making sure Jax Tiger is staying close to Darkest Muzan. And this 3-star was so important for the match, and was so important for Jax Tiger as well, to make sure at the same time Darkest Muzan need this pressure keep going, and they try to do this with Wei, the 2019 World Championship MVP. So let's see if he is the right choice to go at this base.
You mentioned it there. He has the experience, and Darkest Muzan need a 3-star here to really just flip things around, change the momentum back in their favor, because arguably now JX Tiger have got the ball rolling. Darkest Muzan need to stop that as soon as possible. We do see the Archer Tower getting a little bit of damage onto the healers, but nothing too bad there as the balloon takes it down. The Queen can continue exactly as is planned. Oh, but 2 black bombs takes down 2 healers. Itsu now decides to send the Coco Loon just in case there's any more.
Wow, and there were even more spring traps. I feel like those spring traps were kind of in nothing, basically. I feel like those spring traps were supposed to take down this this wall break, But now we have the enemy super minions coming out of the clan cast. There's a lot of damage on that queen with this ground expo shooting from the left side as well. Maybe even she has to use her ability. Yes, she's doing, but she's dying in her ability. Oh no! This could not happen to Darkest Muzan. But this now is the chance, obviously, for Jake's Tiger to come back. If Darkest Muzan, if Wei cannot save this attack, I mean, there is still a lot of things which can happen, especially with the healer switching to protect those troops, the rage spell on top of that town hall, making sure it's getting bursted down really quickly. Those hiders are switching over to those hybrid troops, keeping the miners, keeping the Hawk Riders alive. Now the freeze onto the scatter, but missing the scatter, just hitting that queen and expo, which is obviously great value, but now he needs to invest that heal to make sure everything is staying alive, to get into the back end, get into that ego.
Losing the momentum of your queen charge so early on is crucial, but Wei is doing everything he can to respond here, and I have to say it is an absolute masterclass because the Hog Riders and Miners have shredded through this base. And as long as he can get the single target Inferno, it could still happen. Skelly Traps pop. He's got Hog Riders and Miners now closing in. A bunch of Wizards that would help clear the remaining defenses. But can he get that single? I've just noticed the Pekka at the top right of your screen as well, which would be huge in finishing this off. Single target Inferno goes down. Itsu, can he still do this despite losing his queen? He absolutely can at this stage.
Wow, 30 seconds left and only a couple of defenses with this war to stay alive, and obviously this Pekka coming in as well. Wei is showing why he was the MVP of 2019, the World Championship. Taking this home from this start is quite impressive, but at the same time, what we have to mention as well was the trap placement of Jake's Tiger. I feel like that was the word because those healers are going to transition over to the Miners, to the Hawk Riders, and going to heal really nicely. And let's see if Jake's Tigers can once again get back, get on the same level as Darkest Muzan when it comes down to the triple count. And they're trying to do this with this Super Witch attack. And he is bringing a skeleton spell for the backhand. That's really interesting. That's normally done to kind of like tank a single Inferno Tower, for example. So let's see where exactly this is going to be used to distract some of the defenses, or maybe even a hero. Either way, the Warden walks so far is looking pretty solid. There's one archer on the right side and doing some funneling as well. Like, obviously you want to do the cheapest funnel, but only using one archer, that's a pretty cheap funnel indeed.
Yeah, when you're funneling, you do have to consider how long it's going to take that troop to get through as well, because that's obviously a factor on here, but he has managed to get the funnel set, everything moving on the inside. We've still got the king on the outside of the base. I keep getting drawn down to the troop bar, Itsu, because it is so long with all of the variety of spells he has. But let's focus on the attack with the jump spell, giving him access into the center. That will mean everything is tanked. And yeah, the skeleton spell is going to be used probably for one of those scatter shot on the outside of the base.
Yeah, trying to distract the scatter, trying to distract the enemy queen, obviously, as well, or the royal champion, or maybe even the enemy king. Let's see where exactly he's going to use that. So far, not have been used. The freezes and the invisibility spell, obviously, are going to be used for those back-end defenses to keep the royal champion alive. And this, so far, is looking, I would say, interesting, because most of those super witches died eventually. Now it's all about the queen, and she's dying her ability as well. No. What is going on? What is going on? You should always use the queen ability early enough, especially if their defenses like scatter shots, like the enemy defending warden. Things like that are really scary to your queen, and the auto queen ability is not always protecting her from things like that. And we have the healers with that super witch at the top side. The royal champion, meanwhile, is trying to get to the bottom, now freezing up the expo and the warden together. Judo, can this still somehow be a miracle run and be a triple, or it kind of looks like a defense? What do you say?
Yeah, I would think so. He did very well with the spells for the royal champion down towards the bottom of the base, but I just fear with the expo in combination with the archer tower, there is not enough. You picked up on this yesterday, Itsu, but you always have to be careful when there is a defense that can do such incredible damage to your queen in a single shot, and we've seen it there with the Grand Warden statue. The ability was not enough. What a game changer that could have been had the queen have taken down that expo and the Grand Warden altar. it could have been a different story, but unfortunately for Mock, it is not the 3-star response that was needed. So we kind of go back to
Out of this, or getting even like a high percentage is important, and we have Ty from Darkest Muzan coming in with some dragons. Let's go. Dragons are in, and I'm super excited.
Well, Ty was one of the members of Darkest Muzan last year. He only dropped 1 attack throughout the finals, and can you believe it was a 99% as well? So let's see what he has in store for us here with the E-Drag. Hopefully taking down that Royal Champion. She was under the poison, but it just wasn't enough to get. How crucial do you think that is, Itsu?
I think with the Babe Dragon clearing out this elixir storage, it's going to be annoying, yes, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world, kinda. Especially with those loons tanking the first couple of black mines. I think it's totally alright. With the queen now on the outside, the king as well. The more annoying thing is going to be that this king is walking inside. With the king walking inside, it is going to lure out the clan castle if there's like a hound or something ground army based in the clan castle, which it actually is. So there's the hound in there, the hound is in there, which means the hound is going to like stall out the dragons a ton, and now we have this queen still on the outside, but with this king walking on the inside, this is not looking like the best entry he could have hoped for.
Yeah, particularly with the dragons, they attack all buildings, so you do have to be careful on that and funnel everything. Notice how they are clumping a little bit there as well, meaning the Eagle Artillery can get a huge amount of damage. Exactly what I was saying in the Indian Clasher breakdown from last war. Dragons now taking huge damage from the Eagle with a lot of defenses left to go, including the air defense at the back end of the base as well. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to rescue this one, as everything falling down and the dragons continuing to get hit from the Eagle Artillery, dropping the percentage as well on this one, you could say, for Darkest Muzan, because it is a lower percentage than what we have seen throughout this war. Itsu again opening the door for JX Tiger to try and take the lead here.
Wow, I really feel like those dragon attacks really underperform. Like, this is like how many dragon attacks? We did not have too many.
Important point you made earlier.
Yeah, and now we have the next attack, which luckily I would say at this point is no dragon attack. So we have actually another Queen Charge hybrid, and that's kind of interesting. I don't know if he if he forgot about opening the clan castle, or like what exactly the purpose was of having that clan castle flying so far. But either way, it seems like it worked out. He got everything he wanted to get, I guess. And now it's all about the Queen Charge. But there are super minions still there, and they're going to hit those healers.
Yeah, he's going to take a little bit of damage. Does he lose one? He does lose one healer. So a little bit of an error there. Fortunately, the Queen stepped up and did take down the super minions. But one healer is still a healer at the end of the day. 14 army camp space. And it could be crucial as you are doing an ambitious Queen Charge, waiting on the next super wall breaker. Is he trying to get to that centralized multi-target inferno? And where does he send the wall breaker to try and give access? We see the headhunter to relieve a bit of pressure from the Queen now that she engages with the Barbarian King. Hybrid already coming in to try and force the Queen towards the center of the base, I would say. With the King on the outside, he should be able to keep the Hybrid moving straight through the middle towards that scatter shot in the open compartment.
Wait a second, I'm just checking out the armor composition. Is this actually a hybrid, or is this just the Queen Charge miners? Because I feel like there were so many storages at the beginning that Hog Riders would have been just like going ahead and doing nothing at this point. So I feel like this is actually a Queen Charge miner attack going on without any Hog Riders, at least so far, considering that he has no siege barracks with him whatsoever. I think this is just going to be a Queen Charge miner with no Hawk Riders, and the Queen is still going strong, still going for those back-end defenses, and she has to beat the wall really soon. Maybe even it's worth it to use her ability to get this Eagle down as quick as possible, because on this back-end there is still a lot of things still standing. Watch ability to take down some more buildings, but it's all about the back-end with this Eagle. With the Eagle going down, it's looking really good. The front tower is going down as well. And with that Queen and the Royal Champ, okay, the Royal Champ not anymore, but with that Queen alive, it is looking like the next 3-star 4 JX Tiger. They needed that so bad, and doing it a perfect way over here with the Queen Charge Miner. We have not seen an attack like this in a long time. It's always Queen Charge Hybrid, never the Queen Charge Miners though. So a nice touch to this one and making it like a unpredictable entry for Dr. Muzan. So this is working out. 99% the last building is going down, and this is have Kartik. Okay, Inferno Dragons is okay, so it was just meant to have no normal dragons. That's not what I would like to see. But Inferno Dragons, I guess that's a pretty decent strategy right now.
Well, Kartik has a lot of experience. We do know he, was in last year's Darkest Mazhan team, and he managed to get a pretty good hit rate in the World Finals, only dropping one attack. Let's see if he can continue that form here and finish things off strong for Darkest Mazhan. Interestingly, a headhunter towards the Town Hall there, Itsu, to set off all of the traps. Really interesting move. I like that.
Yeah, really cool move, making sure there's nothing in there which later on most likely can defend this blimp, because this battle blimp is going to send once again to that town hall. You want to take that town hall down as early as possible. And there's the entire Tesla farm. He's trying to push his king into that multi-Inferno Tower compartment. And now we have the Inferno Dragons getting started from the top side. But this means no final heroes at the top left. Those heroes are going to be used already at the bottom side. On the right side, we have the Inferno Dragons kind of struggling with this enemy scatter and the Queen. This is why we need to freeze both. And this so far, entry-wise, is looking pretty solid, with the only problem that his king did not went inside the multi-Inferno Tower, which means Expo and multi-Inferno Tower are keep staying up.
Certainly are. He has to use the Queen's ability as well, which means she will activate the Town Hall, but might not get through. So this Battle Blimp is so important to get on point as we move through the base. The Battle Blimp should be able to get that. Inferno Dragon still doing a great job. He didn't really use many of his skeleton spells to distract the scatter shot in the center of the base, but he does get through it. Still has the Royal Champion only just being deployed, and I like the fact that he keeps the momentum moving with the spell. The final multi goes down. It looks good here, Itsu, with the Royal Champion ability left over. Tons of Inferno Dragons, but just as I say that, Black Bombs go everywhere. Royal Champion's ability goes off. We only have one cannon left, and down it goes. Darkest Mazhan taking things into their own hands. Kartik needed to 3-star, and he is doing exactly that, making sure that JX Tiger can put up as much of a fight as they want, but they will to this tournament with such incredible creativity and just showing us how good they were on offense and defense. So let's see what they can finish off with here with the Queen. Early damage onto the Queen, but manages to protect her. Now using the Rage spell. Can the hybrid attack, this one is the Miners and Hog Rider Zitsu, can this one get it done to make this war even closer?
Wait a second, I think we saw the space already, didn't we? I feel like this town compartment and everything, we saw the space over the tournament already. Kind of interested to see who used it. I'm not really sure anymore, but either way, the Queen Charge is kind of heavy, especially with this clan castle full of headhunters. And now it's all about the Queen Charge. Is the Queen going right? Is the Queen Charge going the right direction as he planned it? Or is this going to be into a different direction? Because so far it looks like the Queen is not going inside. Now he needs the wall break. Make sure that the Queen is redirecting. But the wall break was maybe too late. Not really sure. But the Queen now needs to move on. Needs to take down the King. And then she can't do any more steps to the outside. Otherwise, this scatter shot is going to be on his healers. And this would be obviously a huge bad news. And the Queen is not going for the scatter shot. Oh my god, but the hybrid is star, so the second star should be safe. But this Queen is not doing whatsoever what the attacker planned.
She just wants to keep walking around, and although the scatter shot only got one hit, the multi-target Inferno shreds the rest of the healers. Miners and Hog Riders have got a little bit split up towards the top of the base there, having to just drive everything in to get the Town Hall to 2-star, but it looks very, very unlikely for the 3-star here, as he just loses momentum through the middle of the base, having to deploy everything at a different timing than what he would have liked to. That central multi-target Inferno just continue to chip away at the troops in both of the compartments. And unfortunately for JX Tiger, it is not going to happen for them here. They wouldn't have won this war anyways, but they have certainly across the tournament, as we mentioned, put on one fantastic display for us. But it is going to be Darkus Muzhan, again, the team from last year's finals, Itsu, that will be moving forward.
It's just crazy how consistent those World's Finalist teams are. It is incredible. So let's see if this is going to keep moving this trend. Let's see if we can see this keep happening with the rest of the matches today, because we are still not finished. We have 2 more matches to take a look at. But first off, obviously, congrats to the winner in this match. Darkus Muzhan is showing everyone that they are moving into the next round. They're the winners of this match between of the 2 Chinese teams. We already said who is the better Chinese team in this matchup, because both of them were so impressive so far, especially with the show of Jake Tiger yesterday. We can see once again the score, and then in a second, once again, the stats of every single player.
The Chinese community going head to head. Interestingly, we didn't really see too much of their Pekka Smash variant, but it was Darkus Muzhan that were victorious, really pulling through with your, like you said, consistency, Itsu.
And, well, what teams are going to be next?
Yes, we have HT Family versus Aphelion Esports. Now, Aphelion did get a perfect war yesterday, so excited to see if they can progress. But then we have Vatang and Method to Madness after that. Method to Madness, very creative in their attacks yesterday. So 2 very exciting matches to find out which teams will be progressing to next weekend. However, it is HT Family and Aphelion first, Itsu. What's your thoughts on this war?
That's a tough matchup. I feel like HG Family was like a really good wildcard team for the last World Championship, because you never really were able to expect what is going to come, because they're just so unpredictable in their strategy. Sometimes it were like E-Dragons, so maybe they switched from E-Dragons to those Inferno Dragons as well. We're going to see that in a second, but never being able to expect, or like trying to expect the entries was one of their key strengths. And now with Aphelion Esports, which had the perfect war yesterday. So going into this matchup with a huge confidence boost. So I feel like this obviously is like a really good thing. So it's hard to predict anything on this matchup. I think it could go either way. Or what do you think? About once again the start. It's all about once again the start. And actually, HG Family say like, no Inferno Dragons for us. We're still going with those Electro Dragons. That's what they were so good at last year. Like just using those Electro Dragons to perfection, being able to surprise a lot. Because to be honest, when you're testing a base right now, you're not testing Electro Dragons a ton, because they're just so base dependent, and most of those pros are not using them. So testing against Electro Dragons is not one of the things which most of the teams are doing. So let's see how good this is going to work against this base, because there are a lot of storages inside, which means it gives a lot of good chain value to those Electro Dragons.
Yeah, this was one of HT Family's signature moves last year, the Electro Dragons. Perhaps this is something Aphelion Esports had forgot about. They are shredding the base pretty quickly here. He doesn't have a lot of force through the middle towards that multi-target Inferno is my main concern. Still holding on the Battle Blimp, and he does still have the Royal Champion. Maybe he should send the Royal Champion into the middle for that reason, but there is still the Tesla farm on the back end as well. Here comes that Battle Blimp, though, to the Town Hall. It is fortunately going to make it there with the Rage, still has a freeze, still has the multi-target Inferno in the center doing damage to the E-Drags, but they should be able to get there now, meaning the Royal Champion should be able to finish off the back end of the base. Oh no, the Black Bomb took out the E-Drag in the center, and that could change everything.
The double Black Mine Red Bomb combination was crucial to make sure this Inferno Tower is not going down, because he cannot place this Royal Champion onto the multi-Inferno Tower, because this would mean that the Clan Castle could come out. I don't think there was enough coming out, so I feel like it should be a Hound in there, and this obviously would have been really annoying for the Royal Champ. Now she's getting closer to the range. Let's see what is in there, and there is the Goblins, there's the Hound, so we were counting right, and this means he did not want to lure out this hound. Eventually it's going to happen anyway. But with this
and maybe people were underestimating them this year. Here we have Maz with the opening attack, and it is the Super Witches to start us off. We've seen quite a successful hit rate with this strategy, so Athelian Esport will be wanting to continue that trend.
Yeah, let's see where exactly he's going to put those those lightnings down, because he's choosing to go in for the scatter with those lightnings, which is quite interesting, because if you take a look at the right side of the base, there's an X-bow, Single Inferno Tower, and the Warden, and even Cannon to take down with lightnings. But instead, he's choosing to go with the lightnings for that scatter shot. The wall break did not work at all, and now he somehow needs to make sure that the pathing into the town hall is set up. But so far, it looks like there might be a Tesla farm in front of this king. Super Witches are getting placed to lure over the Warden. Warden, come back, please. Follow those Super Witches and help them to get into the base.
He just about did. It looked scary for a moment. It did look like he was going to move around. Loses one healer to the Black Bomb there, so quickly sends in a Coconut Loon alongside the other ones as well, because the balloons should move from the cannon and round to the defenses in front of the Town Hall, meaning he can use the ability later on to protect them. He does have the force in towards the Town Hall with another Super Wall Breaker deployed, trying to get a little bit further, so he can use the jump by the Wizard Tower. So there is another Black Bomb found. Really just showing you at home the importance, if you are doing a ground style attack with the healers, you have to have some balloons to test.
And now the perfect Warden ability to push everything into that core, making everything invincible, getting into the back, and the enemy Royal Champion is getting completely taken down. Meanwhile, a couple of troops are still further back, getting delayed due to the Lava Hound exploding, and all of those lava pups are getting spawned. But now it's all about the back, and the Royal Champion having a lot of damage on her. He needs to freeze that Single Inferno Tower. Nicely done. Royal Champion ability is getting used as well. But still, there's a lot of damage. He needs to freeze one more time. With that skeleton trap, I feel like the Royal Champion might be go down, and this is obviously not good news for Maz at this point, because you want to have the Royal Champion on the back end taking down those defenses, because those Super Witches are just so slow. And now we have the Queen taking down the next couple of buildings. The Inferno Tower is finally going down with that Warden, but there is still some more defenses to go, and it's only 50 seconds left in this attack.
I have to say, I am quite surprised when I seen both of those single target Infernos. I thought it was over, but they've both managed to go down. He still has the Queen ability, doesn't have pathing in towards the Eagle is the main thing here, because with the Queen ability, he might be able to get time done. He might be able to get it done with time, but now that she's going through the wall to the Eagle, she has to go through another wall to get back out. So just like that, it is not going to happen, most definitely. Looked kind of promising after we could have almost thought it was definitely not going to happen. But Athelian Esports not able to capitalize on the opening two-star of HT family, rather. So it's pretty much neck and neck after the opening attack here. Itsu, not quite the start we've seen in the previous war.
Lalo, which is really cool to watch.
Certainly is K of HT family, much like his previous attacker, only dropped one attack last year in the World Finals. And this is an interesting approach to, as we have the King and Queen diving in towards the Town Hall, but shifting his focus to the other side with an Ice Golem and the Royal Champion with the lightning spells in the middle. So much going on here, but he's taken down one scatter, just about to get the Town Hall and a second scatter shot. What a start, and what a quick start to this attack. Oh, the Queen.
Oh no,
oh,
the Lava
word.
Hound completely tanked that Queen, but the Queen is able to take down the tower. That was important. With the last shot before she was able to go down, really crucial finish to that Town Hall. Now it's all about the minions finishing off those lava pups. The Queen is in that entry as well, trying to somehow get those Lava Hounds out of the way early. The loons are now coming in. With those headhunters now, he should be able to take the enemy Queen down, but he's not catching every single loon with that Warden ability. The question is, can he still make this to the base? The entire core is already taken down by those lightnings. And now it's all about the backhand. The backhand with that Royal Champion is looking scary, especially with that multi-inferno tower. The Warden, though, is sniping that sweeper, and it's looking not too bad, but the red mines are hitting hard, and they're taking down nearly every single loon in this loon parade. And this is now looking once again good for Ephelion.
About to say I can't believe that he took out the center with the lightning spells, but then tracked the balloons over there anyway, because that's part of the advantage. You're not then having to deal with the inside of the base, which is quite often trapped with the red air bombs, dealing splash damage to big groups of balloons. So I am highly surprised that he then cut out either side of the base and sent the balloons over the top. That is really interesting. He was attacking from each and every angle there. It looked so impressive. Again, we talk about the creativity of HT family. Sometimes you need to take a risk in order to get to the top. It didn't quite work out in that one. Wow, Itsu, another 3-star attempt dropped from HT family. Aphelion Esports, with a perfect war yesterday, can start to apply the pressure and pick things up, but can they do it is the question.
That would be really important, but at the same time, I'm just like blown away by this one archer. I feel like this one archer alone already took down like 4 buildings. Like, this is like, and she's going for the next building. This is just insane, but the king is like stopping by and saying, okay, this was the last building which you should took.
Either way, they do want to start applying the pressure. It is Sammy up to attack, and it is the Pekka smash. We do have a lava hound, which means he's trying to get the battle blimp deep in towards the base. Ooh, interesting here to go in towards the town hall with that blimp. Oh,
that was interesting blimp, I would say. I feel like I first thought, okay, this is going to be a blizzard blimp, like where you put those invisibility spells for those super wizards. But then at the same time, I was like, wait, there is no invisibility spell in this army composition. So what is the plan coming up with this blimp? So investing a hound in this is really, really expensive. I guess he just predicted a Tesla farm being around in here, but the prediction did not work out. But he's wall breaking twice now. Those wall breaks looking pretty solid if everything is going as planned. So let's see if he can somehow manage to make everything work, because so far the hound was a pretty expensive investment.
I would agree. I'd looked immediately down towards the spells and didn't see the invisibilities, but he must have had some sort of plan there, so he still believes the rest of his troops can 3-star this base, with the queen diving in towards the town hall. That will secure this area, and then he can easily send his troops in towards the single. Obviously a nice freeze anticipated on the town hall to protect the healers. King is going to dive in to the top area of the base, and he has easy access through with the jump spell now providing him value in towards the scatter shots in the center.
Yeah, it's looking really, really good. Those bowlers following nicely, but all of those splash damage buildings, and especially those traps, are like every single trap is placed against those bowlers. This is crazy. There's only one bowler left in this army composition, and those Pekka are having a rough time to tank all of this, especially now with the red bombs and a second red bomb, and there are no healers left at this point. Another couple of skeletons at that top side to protect this multi-inferno tower and makes the life of this royal champion really miserable. It's all about the back end though. Can he still make this? He has no spells left, but a lot of troops still left alive, and especially the queen ability still not used yet.
Yeah, he might have lost the healers, but he managed to protect the Pekka long enough through the base that they are still on the back end, tanking for that royal champion who has a slither of health. Oh, the Expo turns and takes her down, but the queen still manages to revenge her with the ability intact. Presses it now. There are a couple of defenses left. The the Pekka continues to tank for the Archer Queen. One cannon is the remaining factor, but how damaged are these storages at the top? I don't think he got any damage on them, so it's unfortunately not going to happen because of time.
Yeah, time is like the biggest enemy right now, and having only 6 seconds left, I don't think this is going to happen. So 95%, they're putting up higher percentages than HT family, but at the same time,
where if you slowly chip away at the percentage, you can get a percentage lead, but you can easily lose it right at the end. ICU of HT family is attacking with the dragons. I mentioned they used them a couple of times last year, and it is the drag bat variation. Now the Dragbat is the one time we've seen a 3-star with dragons in this tournament. So let's see if he can change this around. An early stab in towards the base with the dragons. Nice Grand Warden ability helps to protect the battle blimp moving through as well. And the dragons are responsible for taking down the heroes. I'm surprised he didn't try and sneak in a couple of headhunters there actually to speed up the process.
Yeah, but with those headhunters, you would lure out the clan castle if there's a hound there. We had this earlier today where the king ran into the base, lured out the hound, and that was really bad news for those dragons because they were stuck on them for so long. Now we have the queen on that outside, having to use her ability. The dragons are doing a great work. They pushed really deep into that base. Now it's all about 2 wizard towers on the back end, and obviously still that multi-inferno tower, which could be sniped with that royal champion, which still needs to be placed. And maybe this is going to be enough with the dragon attack. We have the bats going through. The royal champion is getting deployed onto that multi-inferno tower, and now it's all about the multi and obviously the scatter. He's freezing the scatter, just making sure that there is no chance with that. He has 1 freeze left. And Judo, I think this is going to be the first 3-star of this match. Just freezing over there anyway, even though the mortar is already going down. But still, freezing the skeletons might be a good choice. And now with all of those cleanup troops deployed, and obviously still the Royal Champion ability left, this is looking really solid for having the first 3-star in this match to put some pressure on the affiliate esports team.
Well, HT family gave them an opportunity not once, but twice. Look at all of the giant bombs over towards that degree with a strategy. Maybe it is something you need to try and use, but it is not. It's going to be the Super Witches yet again, Itsu.
Okay, so let's see. It seems like he's going for the lightnings for this Inferno Tower compartment. I like this already way better than the scatter shot because I feel like single Inferno Towers are way bigger threat to those Super Witches than the scatter shots. Yes, scatter shots do splash damage, but hey, to defend those splash, you want to have your healers anyway. But at the same time, a healer being able to heal against a single Inferno Tower, that's kind of a rough day. And he's placing that healer first, and I think there was already a black mine.
There certainly was, and yeah, on the single target Infernos, it's all about the Super Witches and the big boys having such high HP, so the single really does just burn through them. Another black bomb going off there to the Coco Loon, so that's exactly what he wants to see. But how many more are looming in this area, because he's out of balloons at this stage? As we get through to the Town Hall, the Queen takes that down. We have a jump spell to get into the base, and he has an invisibility spell, probably for the Royal Champion on the back end of the base as well, although the King is struggling a little bit up there. He wants him to get in towards the scatter and the enemy King, taking some time to get through that though, and I'm not sure he's going to.
Yeah, this is not looking too good, to be honest. The healer's now switching over to the Witches, which is great, but at the same time, those troops are really struggling to get into that core. The jump spell now is getting placed at that bottom side. I don't know why, because there are barely any troops. Warden ability now is getting used to protect those Super Witches, but they're trying to get into that single Inferno Tower. Meanwhile, we have the Queen at the top side, really having a rough time against all of those defenses, with the scatter now taking the Queen down. And this back end, it still looks so scary with the Royal Champion obviously still being up, but there's the Eagle, there's the Scatter, there's the Multi, there's even the defending Warden still left, and this is not looking like Carrot could actually get this done and push this further. But let's see, maybe the healers and the Royal Champion could do some miracle and work alongside together. The invisibility spell gives some nice power to the Royal Champ, making sure it's like taking down this enemy scatter shot. To be honest, there's just too much to the left. I think Judo, this is going to be the next defense for HT family.
It certainly is. The Tesla farm at the top there really did a number on him so that he couldn't wipe out the most northern compartment. That ended up catching the Queen up there as well. And like you said, the Super Witches, to add salt in the wounds, didn't really move forward either. I find it really interesting as well that we asked all of the players their favorite strategy, and Carrot of Aphelion Esports said the Queen Charge Lalo is his favorite. So if anybody was going to use the strategy, he's the only person that said it was his favorite. Surely it would have been him. So perhaps he just didn't find any bases that he fancied using the Queen Charge Lalo against, and that might be one of the reasons. Yeah, HT family have everything in their hands now. Jinmu really could give them so much of a chance of securing this one as we see that battle blimp in towards the scatter shot. The rage spell is used. Love the use of the battle blimp in obviously taking down the defenses on the outside as well, forcing the yetis to the scatter shot, and then getting even more value with the yeti mites. Look at how much he took down with that blimp Itsu.
Yeah, and one thing which is really important, especially when you're facing those super minions, is that you're taking away the shots, the empowered shots of the super minion. One super minion has only 5 of those long range shots, and those are the things which you try to take away from them, because then they're not as scary anymore to actually like encounter your queen, for example. So really nice job with that blimp, making sure that this works. Now it's all about the queen pathing. Is she going inside? And yes, she's taking that path into the town hall, taking down the skeletons first, and then the town. The nice thing about this, he does not need a rage, but at the same time is an issue.
Yes, that is one thing that the rage spell certainly helps with. He's wanting the queen to go a little bit further, take out all of the left-hand side of the base, and that provides the pathing beautifully for the hybrid to swoop around the top area of the base. As you see it deployed now, right into this area, there's a giant bomb goes off straight away, so he does have to invest an early heal spell through that area as the multi-target inferno also locks on. You see the tornado trap in that area, but I think the hog riders have missed that, so the miners aren't really going to be impacted. They just move on forward with the hogs. Also, the miners can get onto the archer queen. More giant bombs, but he did press the Grand Warden's ability perfectly there. So we move on through, and it looks pretty good moving to the end of the base, particularly with all the hero abilities left intact.
Really interesting invisibility spell, because normally you want to have those on the ranged troops, but the queen on the left side is out of danger, so I feel like it was a good choice using them over there. But now the hybrid is in between of those two inferno towers. Can they survive that, especially with the queen still being up, taking some more defenses out? But there are so many minus to do. This should be the next 3-4 HG family. Oh my goodness, that attack is looking crazy.
How strong was that? A masterclass with the hybrid, really. I love the fact that the queen charge took the entire bottom area of the base.
Entries.
Yeah, there was only Carrot that mentioned it was his favorite strategy. The others really just mentioned either the hybrid or the Pekka Smash as their favorite strategies, so we will have to find out how it goes. Toby actually did mention that every once in a while he uses the lava loon, so there you go, Itsu, using the lava loon. Let's see if they can spin this one around. Gets the town hall early with the battle blimp, and that's always a good thing, getting the town hall early because of the gigabomb.
Yeah, that was really, like, that was an entire Warden Walk trap. Like, take a look, so many skeleton traps, so many Tesla over there. That is a pretty big investment as a base builder, but at the same time, taking that out for free basically at this point is a huge thing. But he needs to funnel. He needs to funnel this Dark Elixir storage. Otherwise, the king is not going to go for that eagle. The king is going to go for the wrong side, and that's exactly what is going to happen. This is not how he was planning those things out. And now this Royal Champ needs to take down the eagle, which he is, so that's good. But at the same time, the king is not getting as much value as he could.
Yeah, he's kind of... he's still getting okay stuff down here. He got the Eagle Artillery, but like you said, just not going as planned. And this is where you really see the pro level, I feel. If something is not going to plan and you can switch it around, we've seen that multiple times today, that is when I am most impressed. The Headhunter does lock onto the Queen. Oh, she goes down because of it as well.
Yeah, she goes down. That's like one part of the problem, but he had to invest 2 freezes to keep her alive, and she didn't even stay alive. So this is a huge, huge problem for Toby. He uses the water ability early, rages things up. The Tornado Trap is catching that Hound, which is actually a good thing because the Hound is tanking nicely, but the Tornado Trap is being a huge problem, but should be alright, taken down. Now there are the Headhunters taking down the enemy Queen, and the Lalo is moving into the backhand. This backhand scatter, like, just remember, he had 2 freezes. He had 2 freezes, which he invested early, so maybe those 2 freezes would have been a huge change in this attack, but it seems like the enemy Royal Champion is still alive as well.
If the queen had took that down, or if he had used the freeze, it might have been different. But because the balloons hit multiple red air bombs on their way across, it only required one hit from the scatter shot to take those down. So unfortunately, it's again not the 3 stars for Athelion Esports. It is all in the hands of HT family now, as they have 2 3 stars on the board. The minions can try and finish things off, but with the Grand Warden statue looming behind the clan castle, it's not going to happen. And one lonely archer, I don't think, will get to a max level wall in time, Itsu. So HT family in the driving seat. It would have to have something horribly go wrong now if Athelion Esports were this fire of HT family wanting to finish off in style as well. They will want to win this war convincingly so that they can move into next weekend full of confidence. And it is an early battle blimp with the Raged Yetis trying to take out maximum value, luring the clan castle and also getting the expo deeper into the base as well.
Yeah, now the poison to take down those superminions, otherwise they're dealing a lot of damage. Queen should stay alive for now, dealing with those super minions in that poison. Nicely done. And now it's all about the queen charge into that scatter compartment. That's what it looks like. Boy, he tries to enter. There's going to be a lot of damage though, and those Tesla on the outside are not an easy thing to overcome, because those Tesla could lure over his queen, which is not how he wants things to go. Now the freeze, missing the scatter, so he needs to range things up, but he's managing to somehow control the situation.
He is. The sneaky goblin managed to funnel one building, but then popped even more Tesla, which means even if he wanted to send in any troops to try and take that down, it's even more difficult now. So I think he just has to rely on the fact of the queen stepping in, which she does, and the Coco Loon just about set off a black bomb, which is always helpful, but the queen taking a lot of damage now. That's why the rage spell had to be used. The expo locks on, but she slowly chips through the Tesla farm to make sure he doesn't have to invest any more spells into this. I did catch he lost another healer along the way, but the queen is continuing to get more value, and now that the hybrid is in, there's a lot less pressure, and you called that brilliantly. Look at that wall breaker, giving her access to the center and the multi-target inferno.
That wall break was just insane, giving the queen the access to the core, giving the queen the access she needed to take down. She can reach basically the entire base from this point on. The hybrid as well, nice to have as well. Pushing through the spring traps though are placed really nicely, but there's still so much of the hybrid left. There's still another heal spell left, but take a look at those spring traps. Those are getting placed perfectly. Another miner is learning flying. Now we have the queen on that back, and she needs to use her ability really soon, especially with this royal champion waiting on the back end. There we go, nice queen ability. Now there's still a couple of defenses left, especially with this back end seeing Inferno Tower for the Royal Champ. Nice freeze to save the back end, but the queen is going down, and now it's all about the Royal Champ being able to finish off this base with the last remaining miners, and there's only 27 seconds left.
Well, the ability pinged through a lot of the defenses. It means the Royal Champion can finish off the remaining defenses. Oh, I didn't even see the Archer Tower looming, actually, so she might not. But the miners are closing in as well, Itsu. He has everything helping out. The minions and Archer, the wizard at the back, though, not really able to get in there to speed up the process, and he will run out of time. Arguably, could have probably won this one. But what you want early on in the attack, but fortunately he's not using a Grand Warden walk or anything like that, which is often what you can get caught up with. The Battle Blimp should get pretty good value here as he takes down the Grand Warden statue, and the scatter shot also has the Yeti Mites bouncing to the outside of the base, and the Clan Castle minions have been lured, and as you mentioned earlier, it's wasting some of those shots, but the Queen taking damage from the Headhunter has to use the freeze and the rage. Headhunter, oh my word, the super minions have took her down.
Oh no! Those are like the attacks where you would like just to throw your tablet away, because everything was like going not to plan. Because even at the beginning, we saw the beginning when he placed his healers, he caught a black mine right away. So the first thing which happened, placing healers, black mine instantly, and then the super minions walking over and the headhunter messing up the queen. That was unfortunate. So now we have the hybrid somehow getting played into that base with the king on the outside, pushing everything inside. The town hall though still needs to go down. He has a couple of spells to do that, to secure the second star. But this is incredible, considering that Aphelion Esports yesterday had a perfect war, and today it feels like they have not a single 3-star. This is really surprising to see that this team is like turning from 100 to 0 basically, which, oh no, please don't, no, please, no.
Oh,
Judo.
Not what is needed for Aphelion Esport. They are going down out of the tournament, unfortunately, with a terrible turn of events here. They did put up the perfect war yesterday, as you said, but today was not their day. HT Family, the Chinese-based team, have been able to hold strong both offensively and defensively, taking the victory and progressing forwards. Congratulations to HT Family. Another dominating performance by the World Championship finalists from last year. And we have just one more exciting match for us today, Itsu. But what a victory from HT Family.
Yeah, that's a rough finish, but at the same time, now let's take a look at the last match in that second, because we have still, this was not the last match for the day, right? So we have still one more match right after your breakdown of the attack. And I feel like it's going to be interesting to see the face-off basically in the bracket, which we're going to take a look at in a second. But all of this considered, like, Aphelion Esports, there was, I still don't know what I just saw. I feel like it was just a different team. It was just a different team showing up today. I mean, obviously you have